I really like my new glasses. I think they're cute.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So yes, the Canadian election is over. The results definitely did not go the way I wanted. Definitely kind of sucks just a little bit. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a good game for the Canadian Liberals. Not going to sit here and deny the results or anything like that. That is the difference between, you'll notice, between conservatives and liberals. We're not about to start picking up cameras and putting up a whole bunch of TikTok videos ourselves crying how the world's going to end. However, I am hearing on X that there has been some Canadian conservatives that are trying to blame the results on Donald Trump over his tariffs. Now, did Donald Trump's tariffs play a part in our election out here in Canada? Yeah, it did. Is it Trump's fault? Is it his fault that Pierre Poilievre lost? No, I'm definitely not going to say that it was. I would put the fault on two things. The legacy media out here in Canada. They are very propaganda-ish, I guess you can say, and definitely push their narrative. And secondly, it's just how easily the liberal voter mind is to program. They just somehow easily forgot about the past 10 years of terrible government because somebody said, hey, we got to fight Trump. And they all of a sudden put fight Trump over the rest of the country. In their mind, they saved Canada today. They have no idea what they've done. They truly have no clue. The only thing I could do, it's not like I'm capable of just getting up and picking up and leaving the country right now. The only thing I could do is cross my fingers and just kind of hope for the best and hope either that this individual does a good job, which, a shot in the dark there, or that something else arises and he doesn't actually get to serve a full term. But we'll see from there. Besides that, we're back to our usual business, guys. Let's get into it.
A system that makes you pay to exist, compete to eat, and obey to survive is not a civilization. It's a prison with shopping privileges.
Have you seen this picture? I don't get it. Why does the president continue to embarrass us? Everyone is wearing black, except for him. He's wearing blue to a funeral of the Pope? Man, this is a great example of why he's a failure, because he cannot learn. And he demands respect from us? Nobody respects a failure unless you're a failure. And I can hear the maggots now. He's so cool. He's different than the rest of the leaders. Yeah, he sucks. That's how he's different? Get with the program, dude. You're representing the American people, not a Florida trailer park.
Hey, question for all you Trumpistanians. The weather. Is Doge working on that? Because it's really not normal. Kind of like everything Doge is doing.
When you send innocent people to a foreign prison, you are not fighting terrorism, you're practicing it.
Don't think you people understand what's going to fucking happen to us! 50 fucking % tariffs on China! Do you know how much fucking shit we get from China? I'm already fucking broke! Fuck you! Fuck you! Oh, the economy's gonna get better! Fuck you!
So I'm scrolling the dating apps earlier, and for the first 20 swipes, it's conservative, moderate, apolitical, nothing, conservative, moderate. And to me, conservative, moderate, and apolitical, and nothing is all the same thing. You all are MAGA. So immediately, no. Took me 20 swipes to finally find a liberal. I'm like, gee, what the fuck is going on? Why is everybody MAGA? It's not that everybody's MAGA. It's that, the male loneliness epidemic. It's because nobody wants to date them. They don't make good partners. That's why there's so many single ones out there. All the liberals are taken, not all of them. Obviously, there's some out there. But, I'd rather have no dates than ever date a MAGA ever fucking again. So I will scroll until my fingers fall off until I can find the perfect liberal.
Okay, for starters, a perfect liberal is kind of an oxymoron. It doesn't exist. Truthfully, there's no such thing as a perfect human being, but I could strongly state that there's no such thing as a perfect liberal. I know some people are perfect for themselves, perfect for each other, but in a female liberal's mind, a perfect liberal man would be a man that's just pure obedient. That's all I can really think of here. Another thing, I don't know why they have it in their minds that, it's like they're making it look like, is it they're penalizing conservative men? Like, I'll never go out with a conservative man. Why would you think a conservative man wants to be with you? If you really think about it, if a conservative man wants to be with you, chances are you're either very good looking or very fit, and they want one thing from you. But overall, besides that, a conservative man there's enough warning signs. They know they don't want to get into a deep relationship with a liberal woman. It's, again, as I said before, it's water and oil. They simply just do not mix. And once again, this statement about the whole male loneliness epidemic, I don't really buy it. It seems to only be coming from the liberal side about conservative men. It's never even about conservative women. It's pretty much all the conservative male loneliness epidemic. I'm guessing that they're gathering their information from these dating apps because there seems to be a lack of liberal men on these apps and an overabundance of conservative men on these apps. And I'm willing to bet that it wasn't this way 10, 15 years ago and that there was a lot more liberal men on these apps. The difference is now is a lot of liberal men have decided to put their hair up in a ponytail, throw on some lipstick and identify as a woman, or a lot of liberal men are looking for other liberal men. Now, why would that be? Well, the feminist movement has gotten let's be honest, pretty annoying. So I would honestly state that liberal men have kind of run away from the feminist liberal women. You've chased them into bed with other men or into thinking that they're women themselves. Or conservative men want nothing to do with a liberal feminist woman. They're looking for more of a traditional woman. There's nothing wrong with a strong, independent woman. It doesn't mean that a man wants a woman that thinks that men don't even need to exist because they're not even needed on the planet. It's a little bit of an unfair position to take, and I can honestly state at this point, I think the loneliness epidemic belongs to feminist liberal women.
Good morning. This is your reminder that the women back in the 50s who did it all were on drugs. Yeah, amphetamines. Yeah, and they had to be prescribed tranquilizers in order to sleep because of those amphetamines. So this idea that you can be this big and have a spotless house and a gourmet dinner on the table every night with your kitten heels on and a, beautiful dress and your perfectly coiffed hair with well-mannered children who are spotless in the corner who say, yes, mommy, yes, daddy, etc. Is unrealistic.
MAGA, did you know that America is spelled with a C, not 3 Ks? Interesting, huh? When you actually pick up a book and read it.
Republicans should watch out going after cat people because, honey, we claw back.
I'm pissed at this administration. They're creating fear and trauma into the American people. These narcissists in power have no regards for the well-being of our country. And there are people like Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He is an innocent man. We the people need accountability. We're not gonna fucking stay quiet while this shit keeps happening. We're gonna be loud.
Could you imagine getting sexually assaulted, finding out you're pregnant, and then an almost 80-year-old man is the one saying that you're not allowed to get rid of it?
So here's the thing. I don't give a fuck what the little girl did. I don't give a shit if she smacked her mom in the fucking face. You do not speak to your children like that. You do not treat your children like that. That is disgusting work. On my life, I would never talk to my daughter like that. I would never verbally, emotionally, or physically abuse my child. Period. There is no, oh, well, she doesn't gentle parent. Some people don't gentle parent. I don't gentle parent. In fact, you can ask all my family members who are around me and my daughter. I'm a pretty strict mother. I don't verbally assault my child. I don't do that. Just because they're your children doesn't mean you should fucking disrespect them and speak to them any which way. Your children mimic everything you fucking do. So if your child is having behavioral issues, it's because of you. It's because of you. That's science. That's psychology. You learn that in psychology class, that children mimic. You basically condition your children on how to act. You can go watch my videos that I just set a fucking camera up and I'm just interacting with my daughter and she's very lovey and huggy and touchy and hands-on because I'm like that with her. Yeah. So when that little girl is acting that way to her mom, she learned it from somewhere. Yes, she did. No one is going to be able to convince me that that woman is not a monster. On live, people want to talk about, oh, y'all just saw a snippet. Bitch, that fucking live was minutes long, bro. That wasn't no snippet. Who the fuck looks at their other kid and goes, oh, I'm so glad you're so nice, unlike your motherfucking sister? Who the fuck talks like that to their kids, bro? There's a difference between gentle parenting and being a stern parent and then abusing your children. There's a difference. There's a big difference. And I don't know how anyone can watch that video and not cringe at how she is treating her child. And I genuinely believe that her child is at risk and CPS needs to be involved like yesterday. In fact, I fear for her child's safety because people have found out how she treats her daughter. Look in her fucking living room and the pictures on the wall, her daughter's not in any of them. Oh, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way.
Okay, so you guys would probably question, like, why did Mark play this clip? She didn't really speak about anything political or whatnot, and she just sounds like a kind of like a normal parent, and that's exactly why I played this clip. She is a liberal, or she leans left. I know I always use the word liberal, but if you guys lived in Canada, you'd understand why I use the word liberal all the time. And she seems like a normal, good parent. Now, the reason why I played her clip was right around the middle part. For about a good 40 seconds, she very strongly affirmed that it is the parent that raises the child, and it is the parent that brings up the child's way of thought, like impression of, I can't remember the word she used now. But in my words, programming. You're programming that child's mental thought process. Now, this is a little bit of a conflict when it comes to the left, right? And I think you guys might know where I'm going with this. I'm going to be talking about transgenderism. Now, don't get me wrong here. I looked on her TikTok page because she did mention, if you ever see videos with me with my daughter, I'm very huggy and whatnot. So I've seen those videos, and yeah, her daughter's just a normal little girl. Looks very happy. She looks like she's doing a great job as a mother, this young lady here. She looks a little smug and arrogant, though, but she looks like she's doing a really good job with the actual parenting part of it. But she strongly believes that you are the one raising your child and that you're the one who's pretty much all programming the thought process in their brain. So how do you explain the whole transgenderism thing? Now, I know it does happen. I mean, it's not like you can raise your child and say, hey, don't grow up and ever be gay. They're going to follow where their heart leads them to, right? Even if as a Christian you don't agree with it, the heart wants what it wants. That's a whole different separate situation. Transgenderism, yes, there's gender dysphoria. It's extremely rare. But on the left, it seems to be extremely common. So I think we're putting the pieces of the puzzle together here. And it would kind of explain why there's a lot more of that activity on the left side. Really not much at all. Might be a little bit on the right side.
So Trump has said that he's going to eliminate income taxes when the tariffs kick in, which is not how tariffs work. Tariffs are a tax paid by the importer and then passed on to the person who buys the good. They are a tax. People who don't understand how they work are living in an active state of denial.
The government's arresting judges now. Let me say that again. The DOJ is actively attacking judges. If the warning flags were not going off prior to this, I hope this finally makes it click and you see the warning signs.
A U.S. citizen was deported, and that U.S. citizen was a 2-year-old. That U.S. citizen was a toddler. There was a U.S. citizen that was deported, and it was a baby.
Who wants to tell MAGA that they're not up against liberals and Dems anymore? They're up against everyone. Vets, boomers, Republicans, conservatives. Everyone hates you. The whole class. The whole class hates you.
Oh man, my initial reaction was like, whoa, not all Christians. But then I was like, you know what? They're right. MAGA is just a hillbilly ISIS. The good Christians are not policing the bad Christians appropriately. The number of Christians who would be willing to die for their faith is greatly outnumbered by the Christians that would be willing to kill based on imaginary voice from a fictional novel. Yeah, I would agree. Christians are a terrorist group. And silence is violence.
So I'm officially losing it today. I can't, like, calm it down, and this is stupid. I never thought I would find myself crying on TikTok, but fuck, I don't know where else to go with this. How are we in 2025 and people are still fucking being so goddamn mean and shitty? And the ones who are claiming to love God the most are the worst of them all. The N-word shouldn't be a part of our vocabulary in 2025. We should have already learned. I don't understand why we are looping back into this cycle and not learning our lessons, but it is bullshit. And it's fucking time. I know things are gonna get so much fucking worse before they get better. I know they're gonna get better. I know that we're gonna end up, the end is gonna be fine, and I know that. I know that. I really do. But god damn it, this little path from here to there, it's astounding that why is it having to get as bad as it's getting before the masses wake the fuck up? Why is it having to get this shitty? I am just fucking lost right now. And I lost it at work. And I have an amazing boss who was like, go home and just vape and come back tomorrow, start over. Call me later, let me know how you're doing, and if you can make it in tomorrow. Like, she's amazing. But this world is fucking insane. It's fucking insane, and like, it has to change now. This is too late. I am ready. I am so ready. I will catch a case. I just can't be the only fucking one. Like, why? Why are we not all this fucking mad? I'm so confused.
Okay, here we go. It's been a little while since we've had one of these, right? One of these like white liberal women that, thinks all racism stems from like white people and that white people are just terrible. So think about it. She was at work and she's sitting there going, man, why are they still saying the N-word? This is really bad. And then she started breaking down a little bit. And yeah, I can't get on with my work day. And her boss actually let her leave, meaning her boss probably has the same frame of thought as her. They're both kind of snowflakey. Now, this is an issue. First of all, this lady here looks like she's mid-30s maximum, I would say, mid-30s. She's never lived through the racist times. She was probably born in like 1990. There's always been touches of racism here and there from both sides, from the white side and from the brown side. So she's never lived through any of this. Now, she's saying, well, why is the N-word still happening? Now, I agree, that is a dirty word. Nobody should be using that word. However, I just played a clip for you guys yesterday. If you remember that young, peachy, really nice young black lady at the end of the video, the one who calls white people lice babies and pretty much wants her reparations paid in blood and whatnot, that sounds pretty racist to me. So this whole theory of black people can't be racist, no, that's being proven wrong. It's been proven wrong already, but it's really being proven wrong since this whole Carmelo Anthony situation took place. If you noticed, a lot of racism's coming out of that side right now. And it's very unfortunate because it's 2025. The racist times are pretty much all over. Why are we stressing to bring it back? Now, are we bringing it back intentionally? No. Is it being, I guess, intentionally by other people than us placed in society? Yeah, we won't really get deep into where it's coming from, but we pretty much all know it has, it has something to do with the left. It seems to work to their advantage to always have people thinking that they're oppressed. And again, it would be really nice if people would really stop taking the bait and falling for this. Like, even, it's really unfortunate when I see the younger black generation kind of like take the bait and they feel that, they deserve reparations even though they've never lived through any form of racism like that. If somebody calls you the N-word, sorry, that's not just, living through racism like your ancestors did. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, that generational racism, that doesn't really fly, because then I can pull that card out as well because I have Irish blood in me and I don't have all this generational built up racial anger inside of me. It's part of indoctrination. and it's being pretty much all instilled inside. You know, the subconscious mind is pretty powerful. So that's on that side, but it's shameful that the white side of the field is falling for it as well and literally putting themselves down there like a doormat, like, oh, I'm such a terrible person with my privilege and my racism, even though you're not racist, but you're acting racist because you think you're not supposed to be racist. Ah, you liberal women. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Of course, I do have one more clip for you guys. If you guys do like this type of content, if you can please subscribe if you're new to the channel. If not, if you can like the video, share the video, comment on the video, interact with it in one way or another just to help me out that YouTube algorithm, that'll be greatly appreciated. And besides that, I shall see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, guys.
So I'm going to go ahead and respond to all 5,000 comments on that video about my student loans right here. So first of all, anyone who disagrees with what I said, please go look at those comments and see the other thousands of people that are in the exact same situation, because the system is rigged against us. It doesn't really matter what your fucking degree is. It doesn't really matter what college you go to. It was set up so that we can never get out of this system, first of all. Secondly, for the people that wanted to insult my career as a social worker, why didn't I pick something that paid better? I could have got a better job. You know what? What if everybody thought like you? My goal when I started my career was not to be rich, and that is still not my goal. See, I live by the philosophy that I don't need a second plate until everybody has a first. That is how I lived my life, and that's how I will continue to live my life until I fucking die from these goddamn student loans. Not all of us walk around thinking about what we can take from everything. Some people walk around thinking about what we can give. And that was my mindset when I chose my career and I went into my field. As a child that was a victim of abuse myself, I went to a field where I could make a difference for people, and it did not pay well. I never made over $15 investigating child abuse. I responded to emergency hotlines. I have seen things that haunt my fucking nightmares that you will never be able to imagine. And I carry that with me, along with $90,000 fucking dollars in goddamn debt now. So you tell me how those of us that are out here dealing with this shit on levels you can't even understand. And on top of it, we can't even take a fucking vacation. We can't go get treated for our mental health or our physical health, because every part of this American system is rigged against us. Fucking get it!